In Python, when you want to make comparisons, there are different types of operators that you can use. There are relational, logical, Boolean, and membership. This is a table that has some of the relational operators. You can also use the equal to, as you would use in if statements. You have to use the double equal signs. Then you could also have the not equal to, the exclamation point, and then the equal sign. So those are your relational operators when you are making comparisons. For example, you can see some items here which are using the different types of operators. Logical operators include and, or, and not. In the case of these logical operators, you can use and if both of the conditions are true, then the result of the entire statement will be true. If you use or, that means that either one of the conditions needs to be true in order for the entire statement to be true. If either one is false, then it will provide a false as the result. And a not is sort of like a double negative. If you use the not, then it's going to evaluate as true when one of the operands or conditions is false. So it's sort of like a double negative. This is a good activity here, which includes multiple examples of using the and, the or, and the not. So it will tell you which one will be true or false. So let's look at the example here of using and. If x is 7 and y is 9, look at the statement here, and you have parentheses around each condition. So you have two conditions, x and y. X greater than 0 is the first condition, so it is, so that one is going to be true, that condition. Second condition here is y less than 10, yes it is, so that's going to be true. Because both of these are true, it will evaluate to true because you're using and. And the next one you're using and, but one of them is true and y is not less than 5, so that's false. Because both of those have to be true in order for the result to be true. That is not the case. This one is false, so the entire statement will give you a false result. And the same for the or. Either one of those has to be true for it to evaluate true. So if both are false, it's going to evaluate to false. If either one of these is true, only one has to be true because it's or, then it will evaluate to true. And the not, you can see the examples here. If the condition is false, then it's going to provide a true. So it's sort of like a false negative. If it's not false, then it's true. If it's not true, then it's false. So you have to look at that in that manner. This is an example using the and statement so that you can see the syntax in Python. You are going to get the user's input for the user channel, and if the user channel is greater than or equal to 2 and it's less than or equal to 499, then the channel type will be S. So let's say our input is 3. If that's true, then the channel is greater than or equal to 2. That's true. And it's less than or equal to 499. That's true. So both of those are true, so it will evaluate to S. In this case, let's say the user channel is 1,000. If you say that the user channel is 1,000, If it's greater than or equal to 1002, well, that's false. It's 1,000. And if it's greater or less than or equal to 1499, well, that one is true. So this one is false, and this one is true. However, it's an and statement, so this would be false. And if it's not between these ranges, then it will evaluate here and print E. Boolean operators are used when the condition can be evaluated to either true or false. Now, since the true and false are keywords in Python, you would capitalize the first letter. In this case, for example, you can set a variable value to true, or you can check to see if various statements, if statements, for example, might be true. Lastly, membership operators are used to check for values in containers like strings, dictionaries, and lists. Let's look at this first one. We have a string that has this text in the string. Well, you can find if there is a specific value or string, substring within that string. So let's say you had a person's first name and last name. You may want to see if the value of Smith, for example, is located in that string for the last and first name. In this case, we're looking at protocols, and it's going to execute and see if the /1.1 is in request string. So it's going to go to the string and look for the 1.1 here. And in that case, it's true, so it's going to print HTTP protocol 1.1. Now, in a separate if statement, if we are looking for HTTPS, if it is not in that request string, and it is not, it's HTTP. So in that case, we'll print that it's an unsecured connection. So in this case, it is an unsecured connection because it's HTTP. You can do the same thing in a dictionary to see if values are in a dictionary. So here, if you're looking for the value of B, it's here, so it would print that it found B. If it didn't find B, then it would print B is not found, and so forth. And the last one is a list. And remember, a list has the straight brackets here. It's going to look for the name in the list. So, for example, it would look for Barcelona in the list. If it finds it, it will say it found Barcelona in the roster. Otherwise, it's not in there, so it will print could not find Barcelona on the roster.